This is the BVB. Now for a real treat, as we offer you a play first aired in New York in 1894. The play is titled The Intruder and was written by Maurice Maeterlinck. Our feature stars John Taylor as the grandfather, Pat Keeble as the daughter, Bernard Parker as the uncle, Dave Bryant as the father, Sybil Henderson as Mabel the maidservant, and David Dent as the narrator. It is performed by the members and staff of the Blind Veterans UK Centre in Brighton in 2015. Our play begins in a gloomy room in an old Victorian country house. There is a door to the left and a door to the right and a small servant's door in one corner. A large stained glass window dominates the back of the room, and a glass door opens onto a terrace. A path with an ornate pond and countryside can be seen from the window. There is a large grandfather clock in one corner of the room and a lighted lamp. It is dusk as our play opens.
It seems to me it's not very light here.
Wouldn't it be better to stay here? It has rained all the week, and the nights are damp and cold.
The stars are out, though.
Oh, the stars. It makes no difference.
We'd better stay here. You never know what might happen.
We need have no more anxiety. She is out of danger.
I believe she's not doing well.
Why do you say that?
I have heard her voice.
But since the doctors assure us that we may be easy.
You know quite well your father-in-law likes to alarm us needlessly.
I do not see things as you do.
Then you must trust to us, who do see. She is looking very well this afternoon. She's sleeping quietly now, and we are not going needlessly to poison the first pleasant afternoons fortune gives us. It seems to me that we have the right to rest, and even to laugh a little, without being afraid this evening.
That is true. This is the first time I have felt at home, as if I were in my own household since this terrible childbirth.
Once sickness enters the house, it is as if there were a stranger in the family.
And then you see too, outside the family, you can count on no one.
You are quite right.
Now, why couldn't I see my poor daughter today?
You know very well that the doctor forbade it.
I do not know what to think.
It is useless to alarm yourself.
She cannot hear us.
We will not speak loudly enough. Besides, the door is very thick, and then the Sister of Charity is with her, and will warn us if we are making too much noise.
And he cannot hear us.
No.
He sleeps?
I suppose so.
Then we should go and see.
It would give us more anxiety than your wife. This little fella. It is several weeks since he was born, and he has hardly moved. He has not uttered a single cry yet. You would say he was a wax baby.
I believe he will be deaf and dumb. Well, that's what you get for marrying your cousin.
I am almost angry with him for the suffering he has caused his mother.
You must be reasonable. It is not the poor little fella's fault. He is all alone in that room.
Yes, the doctor no longer allows him to remain in his mother's room.
But the nurse is with him.
No, she has gone to rest at the moment. She has well earned it for the last few days. Ursula, just run and see if he is asleep.
Yes, Father.
At what time is our sister coming?
About 9 o'clock, I believe.
It is after 9. I would have liked to have come this evening. My wife was quite bent on seeing her.
She is sure to come. Is it the first time she has ever been here?
She has never entered the house.
It is very difficult for her to leave her convent.
She will be alone.
I think one of the nuns will accompany her. They cannot go out alone.
She is the superior, though.
The rule is the same for all of them.
You are not anxious?
Why should we be anxious? There is no need to keep returning to that. There is nothing more to fear.
Your sister is older than you.
She is the eldest of us all.
I do not know what ails me. I feel uncomfortable. Oh, I wish your sister was here.
She will come. She promised to.
I wish this evening was over.
He sleeps?
Yes, Father, very soundly.
What shall we do while we are waiting?
Waiting for what?
Waiting for our sister.
You see nothing coming, Ursula?
No, Father.
And in the avenue? You see the avenue?
Yes, Father, it is moonlight, and I see the avenue as far as the cypress wood.
And you see no one, Ursula?
No one, Grandfather.
How is the weather?
Very fine. Do you hear the nightingales?
Yes, yes.
A little wind is rising in the avenue.
A little wind in the avenue, Ursula?
Yes, the trees are stirring a little.
It is surprising that my sister should not be here yet.
I do not hear the nightingales any longer, Ursula.
I believe someone has come into the garden, Grandfather.
Who is it?
I do not know. I see no one.
Because there is no one there.
There must be someone in the garden. The nightingales are silenced all at once.
I hear no footsteps, though.
It must be that someone is passing near the pond, for the swans are frightened. All of the fish of the pond are rising suddenly.
You see no one?
No one, Father.
But yet the pond is in the moonlight.
Yes, I can see the swans are frightened.
I'm sure it is my sister that frightened them. She must have come in by the little gate.
I cannot understand why the dogs do not bark.
I see the watchdog in the back of his kennels. The swans are crossing to the other bank.
They are afraid of my sister. I will go and see. Sister, sister, is it you? There is no one there.
I'm sure that someone has come into the garden. You'll see.
Are not the nightingales beginning to sing again, Ursula?
I no longer hear a single one in all the fields.
And yet there is no noise.
There is a stillness of death.
It must be some stranger that frightens them. For if it was one of the household, they would not be silent.
There is one on the big weeping willow, but it's flown away.
Are you going to talk about nightingales all night long?
Are all the windows open, Ursula?
The glass door is open, Grandfather.
It seems to me a little cold is coming in the house.
There is a little wind in the garden, Grandfather, and the rose leaves are falling.
Well, shut the door, Ursula. It is late.
Yes, Father. I cannot shut the door, Father.
Why, child? What's the matter with the door?
You need not say that in such an extraordinary voice. I will go and help her.
I do not quite succeed in closing it.
It is because of the damp. Let both of us push together. There is something between the doors.
The carpenter will set it right tomorrow.
Is the carpenter coming tomorrow?
Yes, Grandfather. He's coming to work in the cellar.
Well, he will make a noise in the house.
I will tell him to work quietly.
Oh,
Ursula, what is that?
I don't quite know. I think it is the gardener. I cannot see very well. He is in the shadow of the house.
Is the gardener going to mow now?
He mows by night?
Is not tomorrow Sunday? Yes, I noticed that the grass was very high about the house.
it seems to me his scythe makes as much noise.
He's mowing near the house.
Can you see him, Ursula?
No, Grandfather, he's in the dark.
It seems to me his scythe makes as much noise.
That is because you have a very sensitive ear, Grandfather.
I'm afraid he will wake my daughter.
We hardly hear him.
I hear him as if he was mowing in the house.
She will not hear it. There is no danger.
It seems to me the lamp is not burning well this evening.
It wants filling.
I saw it filled this morning. It has burnt badly ever since the window was shut.
I think the chimney is dim.
It will burn better soon.
Grandfather is asleep. He has not slept before for 3 nights.
He's been very worried.
He always worries too much. There are times when he will not listen to reason.
It is quite excusable at his age.
God knows what we shall be like at his age.
And he is nearly 80 years old.
Well then, he has a right to be strange.
Perhaps we shall be stranger than he is.
One does not know what may happen. He is odd sometimes.
He is like all the blind.
They reflect too much.
They have too much spare time.
They have nothing else to do.
And besides, they have no amusements.
That must be terrible.
It seems that they get used to it.
I cannot imagine that.
They are certainly to be pitied.
Not to know where one is, not to know whence one has come, not to know whether one is going, no longer to distinguish midday from midnight, nor summer from winter, and always that darkness. I would rather not live. It is absolutely incurable.
It appears so.
But he is not absolutely blind.
He can distinguish a strong light.
Let's take care of our poor eyes.
He often has strange ideas.
There are times when he is not amusing.
He says absolutely everything he thinks.
But formerly, it was not like this.
No, formerly, he was as rational as we were. He never said anything extraordinary. It's true. Ursula encourages him a little too much. She answers all his questions.
It would be better not to answer. It is a mistaken kindness to him.
Am I facing the door, Ursula?
Yes, Grandfather.
There is no one at the glass door?
No, Grandfather. I see no one.
I thought someone was waiting. No one has come, Ursula?
No, Grandfather. I see no one.
And your sister's not come?
It is too late. She will not come now. It is not nice of her.
I begin to be anxious about her.
She is here. Did you hear?
Yes, someone has come in at the basement.
It must be our sister. I recognise her step.
I heard slow footsteps.
She came in very softly.
She knows there is illness.
I hear nothing more now.
She will come immediately. They will tell her that we are here.
I am glad she has come.
I was sure she would come this evening.
She's a long time coming up.
However, it must be she.
We are not expecting anyone else.
I hear no noise in the basement.
I will call the maid. We must know what to expect.
I hear a noise on the stairs already.
It is the maid coming up.
It seems she's not alone.
It is because the maid makes so much noise.
But it seems to me she's not alone.
She is getting terribly stout. I believe she is dropsical.
It's time you got rid of her. You will have her on your hands.
I hear your sister's footsteps.
I hear no one but the maid.
It's your sister. It's your sister.
She is knocking at the door of the private stairway.
I will go and open it myself, because that little door makes too much noise. It is only used when we want to come up without being seen. Where is my maidservant? Mabel?
Yes, sir.
Oliver, your sister is at the door.
I see no one at the door but the maid.
Who was it who came into the house, Mabel?
Came into the house, sir?
Yes, someone came just now.
No one came, sir.
Who is it that sighs so?
It is the maid. She is out of breath.
Is she crying?
Why no? Why should she be crying?
No one came in just now, Mabel,
No, sir.
but we heard the door open.
It was I shutting the door, sir.
It was open.
Yes, sir.
Why was it open at this hour?
I do not know, sir. I have shut it.
But then who was it opened it?
I do not know, sir. Someone must have gone out after me, sir.
You must be careful. Don't push the door. You know what noise it makes.
But I'm not touching the door, sir.
But you are. You push as if you were trying to get into the room.
But I'm 3 steps away from the door, sir.
Don't talk quite so loudly.
Are you putting the light out, Ursula?
No, grandfather.
It seems to me it's getting dark in here.
You may go now, Mabel, but don't make so much noise on the stairs.
I did not make any noise on the stairs, sir.
I tell you, you made a noise. Go down softly, you will wake the mistress.
It was not I who made a noise, sir.
And if anyone comes now, say we are not at home.
Yes, say that we are not at home.
You must not say that.
Except to my sister and the doctor.
When will the doctor come?
He will not be able to come before midnight.
She has come in.
Pray who?
The maid.
Why no, she has gone downstairs.
I thought she was sitting at the table.
The maid?
Yes.
Well, that's all that we are lacking.
No one's come into the room?
Why no, no one has come in.
And your sister's not here?
Our sister has not come. Where have your thoughts wandered?
You want to deceive me.
Deceive you?
Ursula, Ursula, tell me the truth. For the love of God, tell me the truth.
Grandfather, what is the matter with you?
Something has happened. I'm sure my daughter's worse.
Are you dreaming?
You don't want to tell me. I see plainly there is something.
In that case, you see better than we.
Ursula, tell me the truth.
But we are telling you the truth, grandfather.
You're not speaking in your natural voice.
That is because you frighten her.
Your voice has changed, and yours too.
But you are going mad.
I hear plainly you're afraid.
But what should we be afraid of?
Why do you want to deceive me?
Who thinks of deceiving you?
Why have you put out the light?
But the light has not been put out. It is as light as before.
It seems to me the lamp has gone down.
I see as well as usual.
I have millstones on my eyes. Ursula, please tell me the truth. Ursula, for God's sake, please tell me the truth. You who can see. I sit here all alone in the darkness without end. I do not know who's sitting beside me. I do not know who's 2 steps from me. Why do you speak in a low voice?
No one spoke in a low voice.
You spoke in a low voice at the door.
You heard all I said.
You brought somebody into the room?
But I tell you, no one has come in.
There are 4 of us about this table, grandfather.
You are all about the table?
Yes, grandfather.
You are there, Paul?
Yes.
You are there, Oliver?
Why, yes, I am here in my usual place. This is not serious, is it?
You are there, Ursula?
Yes, grandfather, by your side.
And who is that sitting there?
Where do you mean, grandfather? There is no one.
What, there, in the midst of us.
But there is no one there, grandfather.
We tell you, there is no one.
But you do not see, any of you.
Oh, come now, you are joking.
I have no wish to joke, I can assure you.
Well then, believe those that can see.
I thought there was someone. I believe I will not live much longer.
Why should we go to work to deceive you? What good would it do?
We ought clearly to tell you the truth.
What good would it do to deceive each other?
You could not live long without finding it out.
I wish I were at home.
But you are at home, here.
Are we not at home?
Are you amongst strangers?
You are strange this evening.
It is you that seem strange to me.
Do you want anything?
I do not know what ails me.
Will you take anything?
Grandfather, what do you want, grandfather?
Give me your little hand, my child.
Yes, grandfather.
Why are you trembling, my child?
I'm hardly trembling at all, grandfather.
I believe you are pale.
It is late, grandfather, and I am tired.
You must go to bed. And grandfather, you too would do better to take a little rest.
I could not sleep tonight.
We will wait for the doctor.
Prepare me for the truth.
But there is no truth.
But I do not know what there is.
I tell you, there is nothing at all.
I would like to see my poor daughter.
But you know very well that is impossible. She must not be wakened needlessly.
You will see her tomorrow.
We hear no sound in her room.
I should be uneasy if I heard any sound.
It's a long time since I saw my daughter. I took her little hand last night, but I didn't recognize her. I no longer know who she is. I no longer know what she is. I no longer know what she looks like. I believe she has changed over these weeks. I felt her little face last night, and all I could feel was the cheekbones under my hands. There is nothing but darkness between her and me and all of you. Well, this is not life. This is not living. Will you sit there, all of you, with your open eyes, staring at my dead eyes? Not one of you has pity. I do not know what ails me. I do not know what ails me. No one tells me what should be told, and that terrifies me at night when I dream of it. Why do you not speak?
What would you have us say, since you would not believe us?
Oh, you are afraid of betraying yourself.
Oh, do be reasonable now.
For a long time something's been hidden from me. Something has happened in the house. I believe I understand what is going on now. I believe I have been deceived. Do you not think that I would find out? Why, there are times when I am not so blind as you know. Why, I have heard you whispering over these past weeks, as if you were in a house of a man that has hung himself. I dare not say what I do know, but I do know that I will find the truth. I will wait for someone to tell me the truth, no matter what happens. I know better than you know, and I believe that you're as pale as the dead.
Grandfather, what is the matter, Grandfather?
No, my child, no, it's not of you that I speak. I believe you would have told me, had they not been by. I believe they've been deceiving you also. You will see, my child, you will see. Oh, why are you sobbing?
For my part, I will not stay here.
Can my wife really be so ill?
You need not try to deceive me any longer. It's too late now. I know better than you.
But after all, we are not blind, are we?
Would you like to go into your daughter's room? There is a mistake here and a misunderstanding that should end. Would you?
No, not now, no.
You see plainly, you are not reasonable.
One never knows all that a man has been unable to say all his life. Who made that noise?
It is the flickering of the lamp, Grandfather.
It seems to me it's very unsteady. Very unsteady.
It is the cold wind that vexes it.
There is no cold wind. The windows are shut.
I think it is going out.
The oil must be out.
It has gone entirely out.
We cannot stay like this in the dark.
Why not? I'm already accustomed to it.
There is a light in my wife's room.
We will take it by and by, when the doctor has come.
It is true. We see well enough. There is light from outside.
Is it light in the garden?
Lighter than here.
For my part, I would as soon talk in the dark.
So would I.
It seems to me the clock makes such a noise.
That's because we are not speaking, Grandfather.
But why are you all silent?
And what would you have us speak? You are not in earnest tonight.
Is it very dark in this room?
It is not very light.
I do not feel very well, Ursula. Open the window.
Yes, daughter, open the window a little. I begin to feel the want of air myself.
I positively believe we have stayed shut up too long.
Is the window open, Ursula?
Yes, Grandfather, it is wide open.
One would not have said it was open. There's not a sound outside.
No, Grandfather, there is not the least sound.
The silence is extraordinary.
One could hear an angel's step.
That is the reason I do not like the country.
I wish I could hear some sound. What time is it, Ursula?
Almost midnight, Grandfather.
Who is that who's walking around like that?
It is I. Do not be frightened. I feel the need of walking a little, but I am going to sit down again. I do not see where I am going.
I wish I was somewhere else.
Where would you like to go, Grandfather?
I do not know where. Into another room. No matter where, no matter where.
Where should we go?
It is too late to go anywhere else.
What is that I hear, Ursula?
Nothing, Grandfather. It's the leaves falling. Yes, the leaves are falling on the terrace.
Close the window, my child.
Yes, Grandfather.
Oh, I'm cold. What is it I hear now?
It is my daughter clasping her hands.
It seems to me she is very pale this evening.
What is it I hear?
Nothing, Grandfather. It is the clasping of my hand.
What is it I hear? What is it I hear?
I do not know, Grandfather. Perhaps it's because I'm trembling a little.
I'm afraid too, my child.
Here, a ray of moonlight penetrates through a corner of the stained glass and spreads strange gleams here and there in the room. Midnight strikes, and at the last stroke it seems to some that a sound is heard, very vaguely, as of someone rising in all haste.
Who is it that rose?
No one rose.
I did not rise.
Nor I.
Someone rose from the table.
Light the lamp.
Listen, the child.
He has never cried before.
Let us go and look.
The light, the light.
The shaft of light that penetrated the room is eclipsed by the form of the Sister of Charity clad in her black robes. She bows silently as she makes the sign of the cross. Each lost in thought, Oliver, Paul and Ursula file slowly into the chamber of death. And as the door swings shut, the room is plunged into inky blackness once again.
Where are you going? Where are you going, my children? Oh, you've left me all alone.
The Intruder by Maurice Maeterlinck. Brought to you by the Blind Veterans UK Radio Play Society. Starred John Taylor as the grandfather, Pat Keeble as the daughter, Bernard Parker as the uncle, Sybil Henderson as Mabel the maidservant, Dave Bryant as the father, and David Dent as the narrator.